So we'll start off by just looking at some of the stats for the Irish market and the landscape for social media. And you'll see here that Facebook is still the dominant player, with 49% of the population using it. Instagram is a little bit less at 45%, and TikTok is growing quite fast and is catching up with the other two at 42%. You'll see across the board here, the majority of the platforms is slightly skewed toward a female audience. And then at the bottom here, you'll see we've just brought in some LinkedIn and Twitter. And just to note, Meta are creating a similar platform to Twitter called Threads. So you'll see that in the next couple of months. I'm not going to get into a whole lot of detail here because we haven't got the time, but this is just giving you an overview of each of the platforms and what each of them can do. So why use social media? So 83% of consumers feel that social media interaction increases the likelihood of purchase. 78% of customers said that a social media post influenced their purchase. And then what other reasons is there for an Irish food brand to be on social media? It's another touch point for you to be able to drive brand awareness and sales. It's a cost-effective way to reach your target audience. You can instantly engage, and you can put out, if you have a new product, you can push it out there to a huge audience and get feedback straight away from your target audience. Using social media is a really quick and easy way of you to be able to target your bullseye. So you'll see here on the right-hand side, this is an example of a campaign that we ran where we had path to purchase targeting all of the different SuperValu stores. So with this as an example, our client launched a new product into 50 SuperValu stores. We were able to geo-target within 2 kilometers of that store to encourage people locally to go to their local SuperValu to pick up the product. And then one little nugget I found, which I thought was interesting, is that Gen Z are now using social media as a search engine. So 40% are using social media and searching for items within social media and not going to Google, which I thought is an amazing stat to see the power of social media these days. Then just looking at metrics, and what we're saying in some cases are vanity metrics. So we would see likes as a vanity metric. Likes as in followers. If you have an audience of 5,000 followers, roughly organic reach today is between 4 and 10%. So you'll see here in the chart below, 2 years ago, it was at about 13, nearly 14% on Instagram, and that has dropped now to 10%. On Facebook, it was nearly 7%, and it's dropped to 4.3%. So it's constantly dropping. So again, if you've 5,000 followers, only roughly 500 people are seeing your content with organic reach. So what we're recommending is that you develop engaging content with an advertising strategy to target your bullseye. So you'll see here in the graphic, I have 5,000 followers, big thumbs up, with a person, let's say on the right, could have 500 followers, but they're using a strategy with advertising to reach their bullseye, and they're getting millions of impressions. So it's reviewing then your content each week to see what content resonated with your audience and to double down on that and actually continue to push more content that is relevant and engaging with your audience. And then we were talking about building your own foundations. On the next slide, we'll get into how you can do that. So when you're building your own audience, you are building on top of your own foundations. Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, they could be all gone tomorrow. If you build your own foundations, you're not relying on all of these platforms. We've seen it in some countries where TikTok has been banned. So if you go and spend all of your money to develop a huge audience on TikTok, it could be gone tomorrow. So developing a strategy to build on your own foundations is vital. In-store promotions linked to purchase, driving consumers to your website. So you'll see here, for example, the 2 campaigns on the right, and the Great Rewilding, where we're helping to scatter 100 million wildflower seeds. As part of that, we were collecting data. So you're going in store, you're picking up a product, the chicken sauce example, where you actually have to physically put in a code which is on the product, as well as putting in your email address for data capture, in order for you to enter into one of our promotions. Again, this is driving brand awareness, engagement, and data capture. Developing a monthly newsletter, which is giving your customer value, targeting your niche, drilling down on what is their needs. And if you give them value, they will subscribe and they'll come back for more information. Social media lead generation ads is a great way as well of pushing out your message to say, here's our newsletter, here's the type of content that's within the newsletter, sign up today. Website pop-ups, giving hooks, special offers is another great way to get more information and more data. And then once you have the information and the data, if you're giving away special offers or information within your newsletter and only on your newsletter, it gives a reason for people to share that newsletter and get other people to sign up. Now we're going to look at the algorithm. Now, the algorithm and the ranking on social media is always evolving and is always changing. So there is no silver bullet, and that was a line used by the head of Instagram. He himself has said it. There is no silver bullet. It is constantly changing, and there has been more updates this week. So they are now giving preferential treatment now over the next 12 months to images, because previously in the last couple of years, it has been shifted towards video and they've seen it too far towards video and now they're leaning back towards imagery. So I'm going to take you through, if you take like the different aspects of Instagram, so stories, feeds, and reels, and how you can shift and change your content structure or your strategies to trick the algorithm and to help you to reach more of your audience. So in stories, you have to make your content engaging by using interactive elements like polls, questions, countdowns, quizzes, etc. So if you take, for example, you'd run a poll, we're using Instagram as a way of getting back information from your customers. We are looking at launching 2 new products. Would you prefer A or B? People are interacting with it. They feel like they're part of the journey of the brand. And all of a sudden, the system, the algorithm, believes that your content is engaging and serves your content to them as well as others more frequently. In terms of feed, on feeds/posts, ask questions in the content. Make it so that it's savable. For example, with food brands, delicious recipes. People will save it, send it on to their friends, and come back and visit it. So all of these things really help with the algorithm because they can see if your content is savable, then it must be worth reading. Polls will also be soon available on captions and comments. Again, that will help if you are using these new features. It always helps because you get preferential treatment from the algorithm because they want you to use these new features. Ask users to add you to your favorites. So you'll see here on the right-hand side, and this is Love Irish Food. And when you click on one of the options, it gives you the option to add yourself to their favorites so that you'll see more of their content more frequently. So you can send that out to your audience and ask people or ask your audience to add you to their favorites. Then looking at reels. So reels in your feed are viral or paid content. They are based on your previously viewed content. So this is not your friend's content. It's typically content that's gone viral and it's targeting you because they know that you're interested in this content. For example, you're interested in golf and you're starting to view golf content. That content has been tagged as golf. And the more you watch it, the more you share it, the more you see content like that, the more it'll be served to you because they know you're interested in it. So again, using topics that will help you to help your audience to know that yours is a topic as food, for example, or recipes, and they will serve more of that to you based on your previously viewed content. Using trending music always helps, and uploading in the highest quality. So some of these are in advanced settings. Typically, the highest quality setting is off, so you need to go into your advanced settings, turn it on, and that'll allow you to upload your videos in high resolution. And as I said, using new features as they appear will give you preferential treatment with Meta. And then looking at our content marketing approach. So this is just a quick overview as to getting your plan in place for your content. You always need to plan. You can't just do it ad hoc, because if you do it ad hoc, you'll end up missing out or it'll fall between 2 stools and won't get done. So in terms of step one, developing out your content pillars. These content pillars should be aligned to your brand values. Step two, developing a content calendar and develop it out 1 month in advance. So you're well planned and you can schedule out and look at any future events over the next 30 days. And then step three is scheduling in the content, monitoring all of the different stats, reviewing it, seeing what worked well, and then develop new content with the results in mind. Social media influencers. 63% of people trust what influencers say about the brand more than what the brand are saying about themselves. So if you yourself, if you're saying, I'm great, I'm great, I'm great, that's well and good. But if somebody else is saying that you're great, that's even better. 72% of customers will take an action after reading a positive review by an influencer. So these are huge stats, and they really support why we need to use influencers to reinforce our brands. And don't just look at the numbers. You need to partner with influencers that are aligned with your brand. So when you are choosing an influencer, choose wisely, brief them well, and agree the deliverables and the usage rights. Are you able to take their content and republish it on your page? All of those needs to be part of your brief and also as part of what the deliverables and the usage rights are. So I'm just going to play a quick show reel of some of the content and brands that we've worked with, and then I'll go into some case studies as to how we have developed using what we've just gone through.
We're driving cars on a Mars tonight. We're blasting off to the stars tonight. We wanna go, go. We wanna go,
So just then looking at some of our clients and the results that we've achieved. So with Love Irish Food, Andrea, maybe you can come in and give a quick overview as to the results you've achieved now in the last 12 months.
Absolutely. So one of the, just taking on board what Robbie was giving us all he spoke to us about all of this when we were redesigning our website, which was June of last year. So back to, I think the key concern with Bubble Digital was the fact that we were running our weekly competitions, but we didn't have, we weren't gathering any data about these people who were entering the competitions. So on the back of this, we changed the mechanism of entry for the competitions. So all of that now happens on our website. To enter, you have to give an email address, and you also have to kind of tick that you're happy to be engaged with. So on the back of that, we now have a database of just over 10,000 customers that I now, on the back of, email every month a little newsletter. Some of you will have accessed that. It was kind of offered out to everybody, and I'm sure some of you are booked in for that going forward. But I'm getting open rates of 31% on this monthly newsletter, and there's incredible engagement on it. So, you know, we've kind of followed what the team and Bubble have been kind of recommending, and it's really paid off. So actually, we've kind of been less concerned about the likes and shares and much more concerned about growing this database, which we now have done.
Thank you. And then some other clients, so Glenellan Farm, they launched a new product last year, and we had around 10 million impressions over a 6-week period. Oliver Carty, they have seen an increase in their engagements by over 500% over a 12-month period. Shiki and Sauce, we developed an in-store campaign, as we showed you earlier on, and we developed a geo-targeted campaign targeting the stores that it was in, and we saw an increase in orders of 90% in all of those stores. Keelings, we built the community from the ground up to over 100,000 followers and a database of over 60,000 followers, or 60,000 on the database. Manor Farm, We recently just developed a recruitment campaign for them, and we filled all open positions with lead generation. And then Carberry Cracker, we had double-digit sales uplift with our Spin the Wheel web app that we developed, which was linked to in-store and on pack. So that's us. These are just some sample creatives, and that's it.